Hey everybody, so we're going to be getting into a reading regarding how to get out of kind of the pariah outsider role. When I was picking up on things from Spirit, I was getting some of you may be divorced, like literally, like either going through a divorce, like through the courts, or have one have gone through one in the past, or you divorce yourself from something that you really cared about, people that you really cared about, and because of any of those things, you turn into like a loner or like a pariah, or people around you may even dislike you. And it's not necessarily like you have negative traits, it's just you have really turned into yourself. And I want to get into the specifics for this. I forget what you call it when you ask for the specific clues. But basically, for anybody who matches these traits that I'm going to discuss on these cards, this reading could be for you. Number one here, you're either literally went to court or are currently going through court. Like I have, you can't really see that well, but she has this justice figure going on here with like the two, with the scale. Also, really specific, but the peacock feathers here, if you have a really strong connection to peacocks or peacock feathers, could be for you. And here we have, if you've been ginger or even strawberry blonde or have like red hair in the past or currently or are really strongly thinking about it, this reading could be for you. Also, somebody who is really into gothic or kind of a little bit, I guess, campy kind of looks, way of dressing or expressing your style. Maybe you were emo at one point as well. So any combination of these things, this reading could be for you. And why do I pick out specific cards for this to determine if this reading is for you? Because I personally wouldn't feel right if I just said, hey, this reading is for you just because it showed up on your algorithm. I like to have like at least another little step to make sure this reading is actually for you, because I do think there's a problem in the tarot spiritual psychic community with making videos that are kind of clickbaity, and it really feeds into people's mental health. So I'm really trying to avoid that, even if it maybe weeds out a lot of people. I don't want to say weeds out, it's not necessarily like a negative thing, but like even if it maybe makes a lot of people click off. That's just how I like to do it. First, we're getting into some cards. Well, actually, I want to pick some cards for the current situation that you're in. I want to get to know a little bit more for this collective about what you are going through right now. Okay. Just some general stuff. I'm gonna pick like probably 3 cards, top, middle, and bottom. Okay, let's do one more. I'll probably speed this up when I'm actually like uploading the video, but let's do this. Literally, what did I just say? Justice card. How I mentioned the, she's still here? The justice kind of, it can refer to like actual legal matters or matters which the scale needs to be evened out. You could have literally went through some type of, you may have even went through like some type of like, you got your get back, like you got like your revenge, and in turn it may have messed you up as well, not just this other person or these other individuals. Yeah, I feel like whatever you did, whatever happened during this event where you cut off yourself from others, you're putting your efforts in areas that really should not have um, been nurtured in the first place. And now you're kind of like, I kind of did all that work for nothing. And then we have this Two of Swords here, and now you don't really know where to go next. So I'm going to get into that. We're going to get into what needs to happen next. How can you get out of this rut? Because I'm getting you do want to get out into the world, maybe find a new relationship, meet other people that are very like-minded, but it's kind of hard for you because of the trust, that lack of trust you have in others. Let's pull some cards from my Oracle deck. How can this collective get into improving their lives and integrating back with other people more frequently? We're gonna do like a top and bottom situation as usual. I'm getting the movie flow. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if I pulled that card. Let's see what happens. Got celebrations, social occasions, spiritual guides. And I actually was thinking of this earlier, but let me just pull the last card. Here we got Journey. Celebration, social occasions. Are you concerned about commitment? Do you have fears around social situations? You got that card right there. Do things in a different way. Take a new route. Believe your life is only part of one long journey. Be prepared for adventure. Spiritual guides. How would you like to be more spiritually connected? Do you have any unresolved issues from the past? What magical qualities do you wish to possess? And I was actually thinking about, let's get into this one first. Thinking about some of you may be very spiritual, and I feel like a lot of people that click on these type of videos, they already are very spiritual, believe in these type of things. Sometimes, especially as myself, as a psychic, we take breaks from our practice because we feel, oh, we're not really in the right headspace to do it. But you're actually in that headspace because you're not doing it, because you're not practicing. So whatever spiritual practices you were doing that really were beneficial to you, or you felt like, hey, I need to do this, like this feels right, get back into it. Because sometimes the block to doing the spiritual work is feeling like you're not ready, but you're not ready because you're not doing it, if that makes sense. Like if you're feeling like very low energy, very lethargic, like, oh no, I can't really do this right now, like I'm not in the right headspace. Sometimes it's because you need to go and do that thing. You need to go and do that ritual. You need to go and do that, connect to that spirit or connect to that ancestor, those ancestor guides. Okay. I'm getting like rejection therapy with this. And when I say rejection therapy, like you just need to go out there and maybe you're someone who has social anxiety and you have trouble putting yourself out there and being in other situations that you're not really used to. But you gotta understand that like you're never gonna get better at social skills until you actually start putting yourself in those situations. And I feel like for this group also, a lot of you may feel like you're very awkward. But awkward is not a bad thing. Like being awkward is not inherently bad. Like it's just, and also the notion that you're the only one, like I feel like sometimes when people feel awkward, they think they're the one being awkward. Like, have you considered maybe the other person's being awkward, quote unquote? Sometimes it's a mutual thing. Sometimes some situations are a little bit weird at first, but then you kind of gotta break the ice and get through it. And when I say rejection therapy, I mean like there's this dude. I don't think rejection therapy is actually a type of therapy. It's more like more clinically they call it exposure therapy. Don't quote me on that. But there was this dude. He was like, for every day he would do something that was out of the norm for him to ask people, and he would ask it. And if he got rejected, he got rejected. If he didn't get rejected, great. But it kind of helped him like be able to put himself in different situations. I'm trying to think of like an example. I'm trying to think of examples he did. Just like asking for things. He would ask for things, and sometimes people would give them to him, and sometimes they wouldn't. But a lot of it is getting out of your comfort zone. Okay. And I'm also getting some of you, when you do get yourself in that situation, like social situations where you're very anxious, you rely on substances, perhaps, some of you, but it's not actually helping you. I know that sometimes it's easier said than done, especially when you have like an addiction. But sometimes you just need to be told, like, hey, you don't need alcohol, you don't need drugs to be liked by other people. And if they're liking you because you're acting not yourself, then maybe those people shouldn't be in your life in the first place. And then also with the celebrations as well, don't be afraid to celebrate yourself. Sometimes we have like a shit ton of things to do on our to-do list, and when we get one done, we're like, oh, well, I got this done, but I have so many other things to do. Take time to celebrate. Like if you publish that paper, you publish that book, you finish that thing you've been procrastinating for 6 months, go celebrate. You know, within reason. Don't go and like spend out of your means or something like that, but just like take that time to really be proud of yourself. I was just thinking of something else as well. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But we'll get on this journey card. Do things in a different way. Take a new route. This, I feel like it really ties into like breaking out of your comfort zone in social situations, but just do things, literally just do things differently. It doesn't even have to necessarily break your comfort zone. It could literally be like trying to sweep with your non-dominant hand, trying to take a different route to work if you walk or if you drive or if you bike. Maybe walk a little slower than you do to places. Maybe if you're really shy, just give someone a compliment that maybe you wouldn't normally do that. You can breaking your routine in different ways. It opens up possibilities. I don't want to get into like the manifestation of it all, but if you're doing the same thing every day, it can also weigh heavy on yourself. And let's just pull one more advice card. I'm wondering which one we'll get. I just want to see if we'll get this specific card. And I am thinking about the movie Flow too. You should watch the movie Flow. Because some of y'all, when I watched Flow, I cried. It was very sad. But I think some of you, your heart chakra may be blocked. And it's because you don't allow yourself to have emotional release. And when you push things down, it's kind of like a beach ball. Like the more you push it down, like the harder it's gonna pop up back in your face when it hits the surface, right? So let's see what card we get. We'll do one more shuffle actually. I was just thinking of something else too. I'm probably gonna remember it before the end, but we'll see. Okay. We have leadership. You are no longer the supporting cast. You are the leading man / woman. Take the initiative and lead the way for others to follow. You'll be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. And kind of going into earlier what I was saying, like if you're someone who really in the past relied on acting a certain way or relying on substances to get through social situations or maybe like work situations, not like drinking at work, but like, I mean, some of you may, honestly, but just like acting differently. When people like you for something, for an act that's not actually you, like you're not gonna attract your, it sounds so corny, but like soul tribe. I don't like saying that, but like people that actually are really a good fit for you. And a lot of this is like you're gonna have to take the leap. And one of the phrases I really like, I'm trying to remember it exactly. Sometimes you're scared to jump into the void or into the abyss, but sometimes at the bottom of the abyss is a feather bed. I think for a lot of you, is breaking out of your comfort zone is really the biggest takeaway here. And let's just get into allowing yourself to be vulnerable as well. Especially when I was like talking earlier about the emotional catharsis. So let's just get into what will happen to this group if they decide to. And let me just say this also. Take what I say with a grain of salt. If something doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. You can always click off the video. Don't take my readings as facts, please. Let me get these. We'll get into what will happen with this group if they take the advice from Spirit about breaking out of their comfort zone, celebrating themselves, and what else did we discuss? And breaking the routine. Interesting. So we have 8 of Wands here. Oh, the lighting's not getting good. 8 of Wands here reversed. We'll read reversals today. This to me, like this is like a very fiery energy. And it's like a very fast fiery energy. And a lot of y'all most likely have very dysregulated nervous systems. But when you take time to kind of like slow down, change your routine, think about, okay, how am I going to change my routine? How do I allow myself to be in these uncomfortable situations? You kind of slow yourself down and allow your nervous system to kind of relax a little bit more. When you rush through things, this card is saying don't rush through things, okay? Or saying, this card is saying you'll stop rushing through things. Your nervous system also calms down when you slow down. So you have a little bit more of a calm nervous system. And some of you may come from families where, especially if you have a mom, they're always doing something. Like they always have to be doing something. They may even like wake you up when you were younger. Like, hey, you need to be up. You need to be doing something. It's 11 o'clock. Get up. When you take the time to integrate some of that advice from Spirit, you'll slow down and you'll have a little bit more of a regulated nervous system. And then we have, let me get into this third card. 3 of Coins reversed. And now I'm not taking this as a negative card, honestly. I feel like this one, I don't know how to describe it, but I think in this card, this little kid, he's being coached by these 2, I don't know what you call them. I don't want to call them, they're spirits. They're a type of spirit. But you'll start to you start to beat your own drum. Or that sounded weird. You'll go to the beat of your own drum. Instead of being influenced by other people as much, you're going to focus on yourself and what you want to do instead of like, what are people saying in my ear? Or what is not even necessarily people in your life, but what are people online saying? How should I live my life? If I look like this, if I act like this, if this is my. I'm trying to say it in a specific way. Like if I'm, for example, oh, if I'm this certain orientation, then I have to act like this, and I have to want this type of relationship, and I should behave this way with the gender that I'm attracted to. And this thing, you're gonna like start really listening to yourself and your own inner thoughts, not to anything external. And they have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune here, this came up right. I'm really feeling like when I'm holding this card, I feel a really big expansion in my like heart chakra area. Like you're gonna reach goals that you didn't even really think were possible. And you're gonna have things that you didn't think you were possible. And it may even get to the point like, wow, like I didn't know I could get this thing. Like now what do I want next? And it's gonna feel like your life can go into so many different directions. You're not gonna feel like some of you probably feel, I'm picking up that maybe you were gonna pass away young, or that you weren't really thinking about the future. But after taking certain advice, if you so choose, which I never tell anyone, hey, you have to do this thing, you're gonna realize there's actually a lot more possibilities in your life to go certain ways than you originally thought. So that's that reading. And let me think of some closing remarks for all of y'all. Anything else from Spirit? I'm getting turquoise. We're turquoise. That is really good for if you're into crystals and if you're into stones and everything like that. Turquoise is really good for unblocking the throat chakra. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I'm getting turquoise a lot. Usually when the heart chakra is blocked, also your throat chakra is blocked, so that makes sense. But let me know if this reading resonated down below. I also have my own website if you want to book a reading. I not only do readings for humans, but I do readings for pets. I do pet readings. And I hope you enjoyed. Give a thumbs up if you would like. Check out my website, and I'll see you soon.